going to start on our knees. If you need to put something underneath your knees to get down or to sit down, you can do. Try to sit down on your knees for the moment. And just nice and soft with your arms, back's nice and straight. And just let the head. That's the movement. So you're already starting to put pressure through the knees, and you're always engaging your core to try and hold you up straight. So I'm just walking through them. And let the chin start to draw swirls, figures of 8, anything you like with your chin, just letting those muscles inside the neck have some movement. Moving from side to side. And then back up to centre. Just bring your hands into a lattice position. Lift your elbows high, big deep breath in. Exhale, round through your back and push out, chin to chest. Inhale, coming up nice and high. Stay here, just rest here. So although you're reaching and your bum's very firm, you're almost relaxed everywhere else. So breathe into your chest deeply. And then as you exhale, we're going to move through the knees and come up. Squeeze the bum, push the tailbone forward. Big deep breath in. And then come back down, place the hands down into child's pose. Drop your head down. Just have a little rest here. So we're going to breathe in deeply, push your tummy against your legs. And then let the breath go. Okay, lift your hands back up and over your head, big stretch. Let the wrists rotate, let the fingers move. Lattice them together, push through the fingers to get that stretch. Stay nice and tall again. Take a deep breath into the chest, really let it expand. And exhale, just start to rotate the shoulders. So there is going to be a little bit of movement through the rest of the body, but really what you're thinking about doing is getting the shoulders moving and across the back. And then just have a little rotate in the opposite direction. Feel it open. And your arms may start to get a bit tired because they're up high and keep them up, but just do that a couple more times. And now hands are up nice and high. Big deep breath in, round up onto your knees, push your tailbone forward. Feet are together, knees become apart. And as we exhale, we're going to push the hips forward, so squeezing underneath our bum, and we're going to place the hands on our back and just let the hips move forward. So you're now just gently, not pushing too much, just gently open it onto the body. Big deep breath in. Now back into child's pose with your knees open, place your hands down and reach out. Have a breathe here. Inhale, raise the hands over the head, lift onto your knees. Exhale, open up the hands and just let the chest lift towards the ceiling. So draw your shoulder blades in, let your back arch so your bottom is sticking out behind you. Big deep breath in. Now contract your tummy, contract your bum muscles, push your tailbone forward and let's squeeze and push the hips forward. Take the head back as comfortably as we can. Big deep breath in. Exhale back into your child's pose and just come down and have a little rest through the lower back. Just drop your forehead down. Have a breathe. And then we're going to very gently just walk the hands forward, lifting your bum off the ground. Letting the weight fall forward. Now if it's too much too early on because you're underneath the shoulders, you can actually put the bolster down near the arms and just above the elbows. Just not have to let yourself even drop your head onto it, just to let your body drop down but not have too much effort going in there. So whichever you feel comfortable, it's nice for bolster just to start with, that's what you want to do. We're going to take a lovely breath in. Let our body just sink and get heavy. Tilt the tailbone, encourage that tailbone up towards the ceiling, because although we're working through the front of the body, we're actually trying to concentrate down inside the hips. So we're working on the sacral chakra, which is underneath the belly button, between the tailbone and the belly button. So we're actually just encouraging some movement in that energy centre. One more breath. And then exhale, lifting back up over the top. Stretch your hands, arch your bottom behind you, stretching through your chest and really stretching through the front of the body. It may be just a few moves that we've done, but we need quite intense to move those muscles in a good extended way. So big deep breath in. Now tilt your tailbone underneath, squeeze your bum muscles. Tilt that tailbone forward, hands on hips, and let's have a lean into that, into towards the back. Draw your elbows together now, and make sure there's no tension in your neck as you hold yourself. Take another big deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to arch the back into a very exaggerated cat position. So fingertips reaching towards the ground. We're going to stretch across the back. Head's nice and loose. And then we're going to walk the hands forward. Lower ourselves down, let the feet open up, and drop ourselves down onto the ground. Just let your head rest for a moment. Breathe in and feel your chest against the ground. Let the breath go. Just going to lift your head up, place your elbows down on the ground, and push your chin up towards the ceiling. And what I want you to do is just push those hips as close towards the ground as you can. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Try not to put too much pressure on your spine. Let your bottom be nice and soft, not an exaggeration or squeezing through it. Just hold here. Big deep breath in. Exhale, drop back down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in, push up through the arms. Feet are going to come together as you rock back into child's pose and release the spine in the opposite direction. Just drop your forehead down onto the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're going to walk both hands round to one side, so keep your knees still and your bottom still, and just encourage yourself by just breathing quite neutrally as you encourage the body round to one side, both hands. And you're going to feel a compression and a stretch. So compression on one side, stretch. And breathe into the chin. Hold the energy there. And then exhale, walk back to centre. Drop the head down, reach your hands out in front of you. Walk your hands up, lift your bum off the ground again, and let your shoulders fall back towards the ground. So we're not in child's pose. The bum is off the heels and we've got our head against the ground, dropping down, opening through our chest. Tilting the tailbone up towards the ceiling to increase the opening of the seat area. A couple of breaths. We're going to very gently draw all the hands back, round through the back and come up. Exhale, lower ourselves back down to the mat. Inhale, come up onto our elbows. Exhale, take your chin up towards the ceiling, draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Got a nice cleansing breath, just nice and relaxed. Big deep breath in. Push your hips against the ground, increase that opening through the front, let the breath go. And then inhale, coming down. Hold the breath as you lift, and as you exhale, let's take all the weight, feet come back together, and we take all the weight back, and we sink back down to the ground into our child's pose. Breathe in and out. And let the breath go. Now walk your hands round to one side. So go to the opposite side now. We're going to keep the knees and the bottom still. We're going to place our hands down and just drop our weight down towards those opposite knees. You're going to feel that stretch and that compression, so let's breathe in deeply into the compression. Hold it here and release the breath. Now breathe in again, take the breath deeply. Hold the breath in as you walk the hands right back round to centre, and exhale, reach out in front of you as far as you can. Inhale, draw the hands back and round through the back, come back and over the top with the hands over the head, coming up. Lattice the fingers together, pushing up, stretching through. Bring your hands down to your back, tilt your tailbone in the opposite direction, squeeze your bum muscles and push those hips forward. You can really feel that starting to warm and open through that area in front of the body, squeezing the bum. Big breath in. Exhale, back into your exaggerated cat. Your head down. And then we're going to undo the feet, dig the toes in, and we're going to very gently rock back and uncurl into a forward fold. Keep your knees slightly bent for a moment, let them move from side to side. So what you're feeling is the weight shifting from one side to the other. Also, you can feel work through each one of the hips, so you're moving the hips from side to side. That's what you want to do. Feel that opening at the top and the bottom, side to side. And we're going to just bend the knees and drop our weight down on the front of those legs. Put your hands on your knees, lift yourself up with your head, keeping your hands on your knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, place them back down on the ground. Walk your hands out and drop your body weight back down to that nice little puppy pose. And forward. Breathe in and out. Let the breath go. Inhale, draw your hands back underneath your shoulders, round through your back and come up. Exhale, let's lower ourselves all the way to the ground. Hands under the shoulders and elbows in against the body. Keep your elbows quite bent, but you're going to lift up, push your hands in the ground, push your hips against the ground, shoulders down away from your ears, give them a wobble. In fact, let them move slightly while you're here if you feel your back is comfortable to do it. Head's nice and big deep breath in. Exhale, push through your hands, coming back, dig your toes in, round through the back. It's really fluid, up and into your forward fold. Your head fall down. Breathe in and out here. Again, let's have some movement through those knees. Let's let those knees sway from side to side again, just to get some movement through them. And we're going to very gently lower the bum and lift into a chair position. So we're going to lower the bum and bring the hands out in front of us and hold. You're going to feel that seat area open up and you're going to feel the back engaged. That's what we want the back to be working just a little bit here. Bring your hands into prayer. Bring your hands down in front of your heart. Big deep breath in. Keep your knees apart and opposite elbow onto opposite knee, and you're going to drop yourself down. Don't let your shoulders collapse. Push against it, open up your body. So instead of letting the shoulder come down, push your hands together and open up the shoulders and look up towards the seat. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift the elbow off. Take your hands into your nice chair pose, lifting your hands out in front of you. Drop your hands down on the ground. Lower your knees down. Take your hands up and over your head, so round through your back, come up over your head. Exhale, coming back down on the ground into your puppy pose. A nice drop and release, forehead comes down. Just increase that movement by taking the hands a little bit further forward as the shoulders drop down a little bit more. Let's have a breath here, let's have a pause, breathe in and out. And draw the hands back onto all fours, round through the back and come up. And as you exhale, let's come down onto the mat. Slow movements. Bring the hands on the shoulder, carefully place them down. Inhale, let's push through the hands and lift the body up a little bit. It doesn't have to be very high, you can keep your elbows down, shoulders down, away from your ears, give them some movement. You can feel that movement through the pelvis as you move the shoulders. Big deep breath in. Push through the hands, round through the back, draw your hands back, come onto your toes and fall into your forward. Give your position some movement, give your legs some movement. Step down into your chair pose and lift your hands up towards the ceiling, feeling your lower back just slightly engaged, not too much pressure. Big deep breath in. Exhale, bring your hands into prayer. Inhale, elbow to knee onto the other side. Push against the hands and open up the chest. Come back. Nice and straight from shoulder to shoulder, you're not collapsing the shoulders. Look up towards the ceiling if you feel you can. So lovely big deep breath in. And then exhale, lift the hands off, and in the last of the breath, come down with the hands into a forward fold and straighten the legs to the best of your ability. Head wobble. What we're going to do is we're actually going to wrap our arms around ourselves. So we're going to place one hand on one shoulder and the other hand across them over and place your other hand on the other shoulder like you're hugging yourselves. And you're just going to sway from side to side, and with the ends of your elbows you're just going to draw little tiny figures of 8s in between the stance of your feet. You're going to feel that pulling, and if you can keep the legs straight, that would be marvellous. If you can't, don't worry. And then let the hands drop, let the head drop. And now cross the hands over in the opposite direction and do that again. Little movements of 8 in between the stance of the feet. Just encouraging opening through the back and encouraging work through the legs. So 2 more. Drop the hands down, let the head fall. We're going to lift to a standing position. This is it's going to be hard because we've been upside down for a long time. So just, if you can keep the legs straight, that's fine. If not, you're going to bend the knees and you're going to push through your heels, squeeze your bum, reach up lovely and high. Drop your hands down into prayer. Breathe. Let the breath go. Inhale, take the hands back up. Rotate the hands at the top just to release them. And then exhale, let's push the bum out behind us. Try and keep those legs straight if you feel we can. And we're going to come down towards the mat and drop the head down. Inhale, put your hands above your knees and lift and elongate the spine and your chin up towards the ceiling. Hold the breath. And as you exhale, you're going to bend your knees, come back down, and walk yourself out onto all fours, and then bring the body weight over and drop yourself back down to the ground. I'm going to do something a bit different. What we're going to do is keep the elbows in, keep the hands in, keep the head flat against the ground. You're going to lift one foot off the ground, hover it behind you. You do a little kick in the air by squeezing your bum muscle and pushing your hips down. It's going to stimulate all through the centre of the hips. And if you can, I want you to rock your weight from side to side on those hips, from one hip to the other. You don't have to lift off, you just have to feel the weight moving with your foot in the air. And then drop that foot down. Do the same on the other side. Let's lift up the top, squeeze the bum muscle to keep us in place, keep that leg nice and high. And just have a little sway from side to side. I know it's not necessarily comfortable for everybody, but just a sensation of waking up an area of the body. Then drop that slowly, place that foot down. Push through your hands and come up slowly, round through your back, lift your body up, take your hands up and over your head. And then exhale, bring the hands back down. Place your hands on your hips and slide one foot forward. You're going to lift the hands up and breathe. And exhale, we're going to bring the hands down to the inside line of the leg. You're already going to feel quite a lot of compression. We're going to dig and lift the toe off. Place the foot into right angle. So if you can see, we've got a nice right angle from the knee to the heel, and we've got that foot out behind us. We'll hold this position for a moment. Just rest in it. Let the weight sink down. Now, hand comes on your knee, other hand circles, comes back up, and we're going to go into warrior 2. So we're going to really let ourselves root down. You're going to feel that movement in the hips, and you're going to set the shoulders. So round and set the shoulders. Look towards your fingertips. Make sure your back hand's nice and up as well. Open up your hips, let your knees fall in. And in this position, we're going to add something in. We're going to rotate the front shoulder back, and open, and the back shoulder back, and open. One more time like that. In and round, and in and round. Big deep breath in, push through the heel and come up. Lift the hands up towards the same place, the hand on the back, Push your bum out behind you like we did before when we did on the back chair. We're going to open up, slide the hands down towards our ankles and let our head fall forward. Let the head go. The body fall forward, weight to the front of the toes if you can get there, let your shoulders go, let your head go. Stay here for a moment, feeling all that weight sinking forward. Now if you feel you've got blood pressure problems or you just don't like the way it makes you feel, just drop your hands down and lift your head up. But if you can let the head stay forward, yeah. And it doesn't have to be a wide stance, it's just allowing that movement through the back of the legs. You're going to feel a compression in the front of the body. Bring it very, very, very gently. So lift up, place the hands on the back, lift the head up. Take the hands up. I'm going to go to one side. And then if everybody's going to drop their hands. And if you feel you can onto your toe, you can drop it onto your toe. We're all going to be putting our knee on the ground, so you don't have to be down there straight away. But even if you're up here, we're going to come up and place it at the transition. And then we're going to sit on our heel. So it's not easy, but very well done, everybody. Now we're going to place that foot flat on the ground and lift onto our hip. Well done. Yeah, Chris, so keep in the frame. Let's keep the hands up nice and high. We've done this a few times. We're going to take the hands out to the side. And we're just going to take our weight down and hover halfway. Look up towards the ceiling. And this is where we had that little movement we just did. You need to put your hands down, put your hands down. If you need to use a block, use a block. If you can, we're going to rotate one shoulder forward and back at the shoulder. So now your core's really having to hold yourself in place. Let's do it one more time on the other side. Last time. Bring your hand down. Let's have a lovely big stretch. And immediately open up your hand behind and open up your hip towards the ceiling. So you're going to feel that stretch move up through the hip and take the head back. Let's have some nice deep breaths. And then exhale, bring your hand back over the top. Bring your hands in place. You're going to rock back and come back up to straight right. Set yourself, lift your hands up. Exhale, place your hands on your back this time rather than your knees, and we're going to push the bum out behind us and lean forward again, let the head drop forward. Let the hands drop if you can, but don't worry if you need to support them still. Just find that position where you feel comfortable. Let your hips have some movement as well while you're down, so let's encourage a little bit more movement. Breathing in and out. And very gently place your hands on your back and lift your head up. Exhale, take your hands up nice and high. Turn into warrior one on that front foot, like front foot we did warrior two on. Hold the position. Bit of a flow happening tonight, so a bit of movement and stances. Big deep breath in. Exhale, coming back down, place the hands down. You can put the knee down if you want, or you can step straight back into plank, then lower the knees, and then sink into plank. And release. I'm going to have to go to the other side of the mat, so we'll do the whole thing again. You're going to need to be able to see what I'm doing. Have a nice stretch. We're going to round through the back, come up nice and high, take the hands up and over the head. Hands come down to the hips. And we're going to slide that weight forward. Take your hands up. Exhale, bring them down in front of the foot. Your body drop for a moment. And then lift your foot up and turn and place your foot back. Find your position, make sure you feel comfortable with what you're choosing to do. Use your hand for support on your knee, and the other hand lift up, push through that heel. Come up nice and high and level off your shoulders, round through the shoulders and sink down. Make sure your knees not falling inwards, you're rounding through your little toes, rounding through your little toes back, and hips nice and open. As we did before, we're going to rotate one shoulder and back in. And the other shoulder. And back in. Just testing your balance, making your core work. And back in, and the other shoulder. And back in, hold here. Deep breath in, take your hands up, stretch your legs straight. And then exhale, we're just going to let the body come down, take the hands down towards the knees, down towards the ankles, and let the weight fall forward. Let the head drop. Keep the hands on the legs if you can, but just let the elbows and the shoulders go soft and heavy. And try and put the weight in front of your toes, not in your heels if you can, but I understand. And try and get that sensation of getting weight through the little toes rather than the balls of the feet. So it's going to change your balance quite dramatically. Careful as you do it. And then put your hands on your back, lift your head up slowly. Breathe and take your hands over your head. Then we're going to take the weight over to the side and drop ourselves. Now if you can go all the way down, that's wonderful. If not, just stay nice and high. Have that stretch, let that stretch on the legs. Get your legs ready because we're going to pop that knee down. Big deep breath in. Rock the knee forward. Place it down carefully. Drop your back foot down. Inhale, take your hands up and over your head. Exhale, open up your hands. Palms level, let's set them back down. Take a breath in. Exhale, come halfway and halfway look up towards that top hand. Same as we did before, we're going to rotate the shoulder in and back, and on the other hand, shoulder and back. Shoulder and back, and last time, shoulder and back. Big deep breath in, bring the hands up. Exhale, bring your weight back forward. Rock through to your back foot, your knee, and then straight back up. Hands onto your back. Push your hip out, lift it up behind you, and let's come down. And drop the head again. You can drop the hands, that's lovely, and then let the hips move again like we did before. So let them sway from side to side. Oh, that feels nice. Get some movement through the hips and through the body. Your hands back on your back. Lift your head up. Lift your shoulders. Take your hands up. Turn your front foot. Sink down into warrior one. Turn your body if you can. Go lift your back heel off the ground. Don't worry if you can't get. If you need to keep your back foot down, back heel down. Just challenging yourselves a little bit more. Big deep breath in. Exhale, bring your hands down. You can bring your knee down if you want to step straight back to plank. You're going to lower yourself down towards the ground. Just have a rock through your hips while you're here. Let your feet move. You're going to cross your feet over, bend at the knees and squeeze your feet. Point your toes and squeeze your feet towards your bum. And then use your hands to see if you can lift your body slightly. Some people might not be very high, some people might just want to stay on the elbows. If you go all the way, I mean, that's wonderful. It's quite an intense deep stretch. But what we want to do is feel it in the bottom of the legs. You stay down if you want, you can keep your forehead down. Big deep breath in. Exhale, release the feet. Round through the back. And sink into child's pose. A little sway. Nice movement. Round through and onto your knees. Place your feet behind your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. Dip your toes in, take your weight back. A deep breath in. Uncoil and take yourself down. Move myself, if you stay, I'm just going to move myself forward on the mat so you can see me still in your brain. And just when we sit in this position, I want you to just walk through the heels for a moment. Let's have some movement and stretch through the weight. Let the hips move from side to side. Yes. Push one heel into the ground and straighten back leg, let one be nice and let that hip get heavy, drop towards the floor. Ooh. Now breathe in and expand your tummy. And exhale, try and really pull it back and snatch it in towards your spine. Now swap your foot over to the other side. So drop your heel down on the other side. Let your other foot be nice and bent and the hip's going to drop down towards the floor and you're going to feel your shoulder move towards that. And we're going to breathe and expand the tummy again. We're going to snatch back the stomach. And then we're going to take the weight back through both feet and start to push through both straight legs. I don't expect you necessarily to get all the way to the ground with your heels. It's not the point of it, you just want to feel that movement through the back of the leg. And I want you to take the weight and bring it over your hands and back again. You do that 3 times. If it's too uncomfortable, don't do it. We're not trying to get into plank, we're just taking the weight over to moving through the shoulders. Last time. And then walk your hands all the way back to your feet and into your forward fold. Bend into your chair. Lift your hands up towards the ceiling. Big deep breath in. Exhale, draw the hands into prayer near your heart. Inhale, place one hand down on the opposite knee and open up your shoulder. Inhale, drop your hands down. Exhale, straighten your legs. Let the weight drop forward. Inhale, bring your hands to your knees. Lift your head, and as you exhale, lower your knees down. Walk your hands out and drop yourself into your forward pose and just stretch through your shoulders. Let your body have some movement. In and out. Slide your hands back, round through your back. Done this before, come up. Exhale, lower yourself down to the ground. Inhale, lifting straight away back up onto your knees. Dig your toes in and take yourself to your downward facing dog. Have some movement through your feet. Now walk your hands slowly back towards your feet into a forward fold. Inhale, sit yourself down in your chair, lift your hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands down towards your heart and turn and place your elbow onto your opposite knee and look towards the ceiling with the head this time if you can. Big deep breath in. Exhale, drop your hands down, straighten your legs, let your body fall into a forward. Inhale, bend your knees, walk your weight forward, place your knees down, walk your hands out and drop your weight down. In and out. Draw your hands in slightly round through your back as you come up. Exhale, let's land ourselves down to the mat. Inhale, straight back up with the head. Exhale, onto your knees. Dig your toes in, peel back. Well done. That was quite a quick sequence, wasn't it? So just walk your hands slowly back. So breathe in as you slowly to feel the weight transfer differently with your feet. Exhale, let the head come down. We're going to bend the knees, put the hands on the knees this time, lift the head up. Exhale, contract around. Inhale, take the back out. So standing cat-cow. Exhale, contracting round. Last time, inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, contracting round. Lift the hands up over the head. And really open up the chest and open up the hand. This is lovely. Then bring the hands down, drop down by the side of your hand.
your feet to either side. And just take your weight through your feet, moving through your knees from side to side. Just having a little motion there. There's a reason for this. We're going to be using the knees in an intense way in a moment. So just going to come back to the stationary position, take your weight over to one side, lift up your body so you're into a standing balanced position. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale, you're going to squeeze everything, your elbows, your knees, your body, in towards your lifted knee. Exhale, take your hands out, open up your knee like you're hurling and place it back down. Just lift up onto the other side. Bring everything in towards that center line of the body, coming in. Big squeeze. Inhale, open your hands back out. Exhale, open the knee and place it down. Hands on your hips. Take your feet just to the corners of your mat. Just let your hips have some movement, just backwards and forwards first, side to side, and then just a few rotations in one direction and a few rotations. And then we're going to bring the hands into prayer. Big deep breath in. Put your hands down first if you need to, but we're going to drop first. If you want to put your hands down as you go down to catch yourself, you can do. If not, you're just going to drop it. Oh, done. Good work. And for those that feel comfortable in this position, I encourage a little bit of sway. Let the hips open. And you want to let the tailbone sink down. It doesn't have to mean if you're leaning back slightly, just let that tailbone. Hands, feel the hands against each other. Let the tummy muscles really soft, that tailbone dropping. And then down and down. You're just going to bring your feet together. And you're going to have a little wobble, a little flap. And all we're doing, just keep alternating between those two things. A little wobble, your weight, and a little flap. Just release the tension there, and you're doing the hips, it's encouraging that to happen. And a nice big wobble, so you can feel like you're massaging your bottom cheek as you're moving across the sides. And then hold on to your ankles, give your knees a big squeeze in, big deep breath in. And exhale, let them drop down. Put your elbows on the insides of your legs and just give them a little push as you move your weight. Lift your body. Now you're either going to hold onto your feet, your ankles, or your toes, and we're going to go into your bare toes. So we're going to lift the feet off as far and as open as we feel we're capable of doing it. If you want to keep yourself quite low, that's fine. You can still keep your feet on the ground, but have that tailbone engaged, leaning back. Draw your shoulders down away from you. Close your eyes if you feel like you want to challenge yourself. Not. Don't close your eyes if there's some heavy coffee table behind you. Don't want that to happen, do we? Especially if it's got glass there as well. Very dangerous. One more breath. And then come back down. Drop one foot down. Drop the other one in front, so you're not necessarily cross, but they're nice and loose body. And just sit on top of that tailbone, have the swell through the hips again. Then always do some breathing and calm down. I'm just going to move the hips a little bit more. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to cradle the leg like a baby. So we're going to lift it with the opposite foot, so opposite hand to the base of opposite foot. I'm going to pass the hand underneath and hold it. Although I've never seen a child look like this. We're going to encourage, by using the elbow on the inside of our knee, to push back as far as we can and come back, and push back and come back. Just keep doing that for a moment. And then we're going to lift the foot and pull it in towards the body. It's lovely and tall. Then swap your feet over so the other one's now in front. Still got them quite loose, so both feet are against the ground. And you're going to give that little sway through the body, little open. Your head move. Going to same again. We're going to reach the opposite hand down to the opposite foot and lift up. And then we're going to thread the other hand underneath and just hold on to it. Use your other hand. Then the same principle, squeezing back with the elbow and back across. Squeezing back with the elbow. Really encouraging those hips just loose. Feel nice. And then we're going to lift up and in, and we're going to stay nice and tall as well. Feel like your body wants to rock, allow it. It might be that it's just some of the energy wanted to release. So you feel like, oh, a little bit. It's not unusual. And then drop those feet down and just take your legs out in front of you. Give your knees a wobble. We're going to let the head move from side to side. We're just going to let the body sway from side to side. And then we're going to place one hand down, have a nice big reach without the bum lifting. If you can get your elbow down, that would be wonderful. That's an essential part of the practice. Crook your feet. Now come back over the top, down onto the other side. Now, do something slightly different. We're going to inhale, come over the top. Reach as we did before, and then take the stretch diagonally in between the hands and the foot. Breathe. And then sweep the hand up over the head, open up the shoulder and drop the hand behind you. And bring the hand back down on the other side and bring the other hand up and over the top, falling down forward. Inhale. Drop the hand down in between the toes and the opposite on the back hand. Just stretch your body, don't let your bum lift if you can help it. Now lift the hand back up, sweeping it over the head. Open up the chest behind you. And then inhale, coming up with both hands. And exhale, coming back down. Right, the head going. Now we did this in a previous class not long ago. I'm hoping people will be able to do it now. If you can't, there's no need to panic. What we did is we started in a position like this. We wanted to put the weight in the middle of the body, sink the weight down, and let that knee fall out and front leg sit down. Now, if you feel this is uncomfortable, you can do two things. You can just let the body sit down, or you can bring the foot in. But the whole point of this is, in this position, our tailbone and the base of our spine is sitting is almost being pressed into the ground. And that's perhaps the sensation we want, that there's something there up against our tailbone that we can feel. And we're going to put our hands on the inside line of our pelvis and push our hands on and up into our body. Bring it. It's almost like we're pushing the chest to lift, and we're going to squeeze that tummy muscle there. Now breathe in and keep your body nice and tall, and breathe into the bottom hand. Keep that pressure being applied with the hands as you let the breath go and squeeze the air out. Do that one more time. Squeeze the air out. And then we're going to, in your own time, swap over to the other side. So there's no rush to get into this in any particular fashion. I find it really comfortable, but I know it's not for everybody. So even if you've not decided to use a bolster, or you feel uncomfortable on your body, or you don't, and you don't want to do this, don't do it. I still want you to be able to sit with your hands on your pelvic region. So whatever feels comfortable for you. Do you feel as though your body's coming forward, not slouching back, and that is quite an important part of it. So finding your position, place your hands on just below your belly button, inside the hip bones. Press up and in, and just going to raise the body. So it's almost like you're pushing up to get nice and high. Foot's nice and soft, other foot's nice and soft. breathe in. Keep that pressure being applied. You can feel your shoulders engaged, holding yourself. Okay, breathe in, push against your hand. Exhale, keep that pressure pushing a bit harder, let the breath go. One more time. Let the breath. Then release the hands. Have a normal breath. And then release yourself in that position. And all we're going to do is place the bolster or the towel underneath our back. I'm going to lie down against the lower spine. So if you feel it's too thick, find something that's thin. If you don't want anything underneath the spine, that's absolutely fine. But it is quite nice just to because when you've got that back nice and rested, it can open up without having to be pressuring the spine. Bit of support. You're going to let your body fall over the top. Get into a position where you feel comfortable, your hips are nice and comfortable. And then you're going to reach your hands over your head. Your back slightly arch. Take yourself time to get down. And if you do feel this is too uncomfortable, what you can do is you can actually place the feet against the ground so you've got more movement through the hips if you need it. But for those that want that deeper position, that deeper feeling, you're going to drop your feet down. And you're just going to breathe. And it's a very soft breath. Non-judgmental. And it's like that kind of sensation when you've been to the gym, you've been doing exercise and you've flopped down on the ground and it's just over and you know it is. And it's nice just to rest and relax and not put any pressure to it. And that's the kind of sensation that walk around. So, but as you breathe, although it's non-judgmental, it's not contrived, we do want you to try and push it down to the base of your torso. So you can feel your back pushing to the item underneath your body. Don't if it's uncomfortable. So just breathe in. Let the breath go. Let's do that again. Breathing in. And just let the breath go. One last long breath in, one last long breath. And out. Now, if you're feet uncomfortable, I want you to place your feet down. I want you to just lift your hips off and remove the bolster from underneath the body. Place you back down on the ground. You're going to bring your knees in towards your chest. Just loosely give them a hug. So now your back's releasing where it's had that pressure. Just open back. And just encourage a little bit of a rock. So you're massaging all those muscles. And you should be able to feel quite deep sensation through your back after that. So that was letting your back move in a position that normally would cause pain, but because you've got a bolster there supporting it. Start to circle the knees as well, so you can feel a little tennis ball sized circle move through the back, and then change the direction. So just and then let's take the hands out to the side, take the knees up, and just drop the knees down to one side. And it's like you heard that click. There you go. Look towards your back hand. Breathe in slowly. And really just allow everything to relax, so your feet aren't floating, everything's down. Even if your knees come apart, you want to get yourself nice and soft. Releasing any of that tension that still might be in the back. It's also good for your digestive system. It does help the energy move up the spine. Now put your feet down if they've come apart. Let's see if we can lift. If you need to put your feet on the ground to lift, you can do. So we're going to move over the top. And we're going to move over to the other. And again, if you need to just let the feet come apart, just so you can get comfortable for a moment. Just going to let the breath move in and out. Now think about what's happening. Feel that twist in the back, feel that moving up the body, and that's what we want. We want to encourage any blockages, any traps, anything that's physical or emotional, energy-wise, anything like that. We want to let it come release, squeeze and release through the body. So just think, I do not want to go back into the normal, everyday way of life we've been in before, the way where I don't feel much more, just let's get ourselves better. Now feet come back together, let's lift the knees up nice. Exhale, just slide the feet out. Just drop your hands down out to the sides, palms facing up, so your shoulders are very into the ground, and let your feet fall out to the sides. Now just soften the features on your forehead. If you want to close your eyes and completely understand, you can keep them open, it doesn't matter, just let the body succumb to whatever feels nice and natural. Let the lips part and just place the tongue against the roof. Now think about your shoulders, and I want you to breathe in and really expand across the back of the shoulders and retain the breath. So breathe deeply. Retain it here, keep it in. Now let the shoulder blades sink in towards the ground and the ribcage drop as you let. Really think about what the base of the ribcage is also doing. Do that again, breathing in at the chest. Take that breath. And now let the shoulders sink and feel that sensation as you let the breath go move to the base of the ribcage. One last time. And just let it. Just let your breathing be nice and neutral and normal, just anywhere that feels comfortable. And in this position, what I want you to do is imagine that there is almost like orange swirls moving around your fingers, moving up and around your arms, like a ribbon that's swirling around the body, around the shoulders, around the torso, and then just like an orange mist that enters into your belly button and down towards the tailbone. Now I want you to take a breath in and imagine that orange mist, that light, that lovely feeling of energy and warmth, filling all the space between your hips so you feel happy, warm and nurtured. So breathing in. While the air is inside your body, just think about lovely warm energy, warm all the sides of your body and your hips. And just let the breath go, feeling move up the body again. Air back. Breathe in and then let's see that orange light expand through the hips. Watch it as it penetrates all of your hips and your bones, and then as you exhale, see that energy start to just travel back up the spine. And we're going to encourage it up towards the top of the head. By gently bringing your feet in, bringing your knees in, keep your hands out to the side, and just gently lift your tailbone off the ground and tilt it up towards the ceiling. Bring your knees in towards your chest, so just rocking through the base of the spine. Up and down. That's nice. And then we're going to take the feet across, hold on to the feet, so now the weight's on the top of the shoulders. I'm going to rock out. And sit up for a moment and just take a moment to feel back in control of what's going on. And kind of want to keep that energy moving. So let's just snake the head. Don't move your head to a point where you feel like, oh, it's falling all over the place. It's more the case of subtle movements, just feeling any tension move out the back of the neck and out the head. So sometimes when people do this, they do feel pressure on the top of the head, and it's totally normal. So just let the shoulders encourage that movement through the neck, so you release any tension. Anything that feels really lovely, you can even tilt the head down if you want. The rock, lift the hands up, whatever it is. And then just take the hands up like you just got out of bed in the morning. Correct. Wiggle through the whole body, get space down the spine as much as possible. And bring your hands into prayer. Now take your hands up nice and high. And exhale, just open up and just that lovely orange bubble, that orange glow, that orange ribbon back down through the body. And then inhale, take the hands back. Then exhale, draw the hands down. Namaste.